The journey inward is the most rewarding path you can take. Our guest today embodies this philosophy with over 2 decades of dedication to energy healing, meditation, and ancient philosophies. Initially balancing a successful corporate career that took him across Africa and the Middle East, he felt a deep calling for a much more meaningful path. After leaving the corporate world in 2016, he immersed himself in retreats, workshops, and intense training, even founding Awakening Prema. Now he focuses on sound and energy. Now he focuses on sound and energy healing, yoga, and shamanic breathwork. Let's welcome Renato. Hi, Renato. Welcome to the Unsaid podcast.
Hi, welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to talk a little bit about my journey and that this can be at service and support for others as well.
And I think we connected for a reason because when I reached out to you, you were in Portugal and luckily you were traveling at this point in time back to Dubai, right?
Yes, exactly. I was sitting at the airport just before boarding to the plane, and it was the moment that I was coming here. And in a few days, I'm leaving back to Portugal. So
Wow,
on
thank
the right
you.
time.
Thank you for being on the show. And we see some very exciting instruments on the table, which is matching with my dress. So why don't we have a little demo about this?
Perfect, yeah. Those are some of the instruments I use into the sound therapies. And this is a beautiful handle crystal bowl. So it creates a beautiful flow that helps us to induce a trance state. That's actually the intention behind the sound healing, to take ourselves in a space beyond the five senses, beyond the mind, and to connect with the heart in a deeper space. So it's a very powerful and practical instrument to be used in a therapeutic flow. And actually for anything, even if we feel like purifying the energy into the house, we can just walk around with a positive intention and to bring this into clearing the space energetically as well.
I can actually feel the energy here right now.
Yeah, it's
Positive
beautiful.
energy.
Yeah. It's like a living being, so it's very beautiful to work with that.
Wow. And this looks like a spaceship.
Yeah. Yeah, this instrument is very beautiful. It's called tongue drum. It's a smaller version of what people call the hand pans, and usually we play them with two sticks. And this particularly, it has very rich into overtones. So when you talk in the musical aspects, are the tones within the tone, they can really connect us in a higher sphere. Again, bypassing the five senses and the rational thinking to take us in a blissful space. So I love to use it as well into therapy or simply into guiding people into meditation because it brings this etheric feeling. So it's very uplifting, naturally helping us to ease the heart, ease the tensions, ease any type of stress that somebody might be going through. So they're part of so many different instruments that I use into the sound healing therapy practices.
I think these few seconds created such an amazing atmosphere here in the studio. And so we've already moved to what you do. So let's come back and introduce yourself a little bit as to how you left your corporate job and, eventually moved into being a spiritual teacher.
Yeah, in a sense, I had kind of the calling to be connected to energy work since my university. But I think the normal standpoint of society to build a career was still stronger than this. So I kind of followed two paths simultaneously,
Right.
doing my studies, energy work, yoga, meditation. So a lot of aspects I was practicing in parallel to studies university, MBAs, and following a career. What is beautiful that this path ended up bringing to travel the whole world. I travel more than 45 countries just on business. It brought me here to Dubai. And I think opened a little bit the doorway to be closer to the East. So I had the opportunity to explore and to study, deepening a lot of knowledge in India as well, with different masters, with Vipassana meditation, doing a yoga teacher training there. So all this was a beautiful thing. And I always knew there would come a moment that we had to choose into continuing the corporate or just focus into that. And it happened. It started at the early 2014. I took 2 years to make up my mind that that was the best decision, because I had what everybody knows as a very successful career, very stable financial situation in Dubai as an expat working for a big multinational company, very secure. And I took a step like to pull out from this. So it took me 2 years to really kind of polish my ego, to drop the Renato regional sales manager and having this type of posture and status and ego related to work, to out of a sudden just start a new path. And I completely stepped into the unknown. It was organized mentally, but not planning to detail what would be the next steps. I allowed the next steps to unfold naturally.
Right. And you know, something that I can think of right now as an experience or an incident I would like to share is, we were in one of the sound healing sessions with my husband. So I pushed him to come with me and experience it. It was his first ever experience, okay? Like a full moon meditation with sound healing. And you know, the first thing that he said was, okay, I'm not coming here next time because there are more females than male.
Yeah.
You know, that stereotypical idea. So I was like, okay, just finish the session and then we talk about it, right? So it's amazing to see a man, because for a man, it's very difficult to, like you rightly said, take off that ego from myself, change that person to what you are today. So what is that message that you can give to all the men who are listening to us?
I think this is very important, because that's a very strong stereotype of man, that man who should behave or act in a certain way. And for majority of men, it's still quite difficult to be vulnerable, to open their hearts, to talk about their feelings, and really to connect with what we talk with this feminine embodiment of energy, that is the energy of unconditional love. That actually is what drives. What I used to say, there are some of the proverbs that our mind is a horrible boss, but is a powerful servant. The problem that majority of men are very stuck into the mind. It's very stuck into the thinking and into this male-driven polarity. But once we allow ourselves to deepen within and open the heart, it opens like everything. So, and then the mind will act and be guided by the heart.
Absolutely, I think, because once he finished that session, he was much more open and he started attending more sessions with me. He was like, yes, this is good. I mean, it kind of helps me detox, balance my thoughts, and then kind of move into a different journey altogether. And now he enjoys it. So that was that one moment of, opening that, okay, I need to kind of get into this space, and then I think it just flows.
Yeah. The challenge is that people are afraid of losing control. That is part of the ego and part of the rationality that it's so strongly in our society that even a lot of women get quite contaminated with this intense rationality. But for men, it's already part of nature. It's like the yin yang. All of us, we have those two polarities. We just need to learn how to balance and learn how to trust into this intuition. Many people still say that intuition is things for women. And actually, intuition is the basis of life. Once we allow ourselves to follow intuition, that's what will take us. That's what kind of guided me to make this big change in my life 9 years ago. And that's what is still driving me to take more changes in our life and to trust them. And while you're using the mind and the male polarity is just to apply things. But the intuition and this has to come before. If not, we get stuck in a trap that what is a lot of wars and chaos that exists in humanity today.
So how important, like you've been through this experience, right? So how important it is for a man. For a female, it's like, yeah, we will try all sort of things, we will get into these kind of sessions and stuff. But how important is it for a man to actually open up? And how can he actually take that first step?
I think allowing them to come to those experiences that can open their heart more. I love to do sessions as well for corporates that majority of people, and mainly a lot of men that are coming, they are very close and they're saying, oh, those type of things, meditation are not for me.
Yes.
Or those type of experiences are for women. And after they get very surprised because they can see how it softened their heart, it softened their energies and open themselves for a different perspective. So I think it's just to take the first step to allow them to experience it. And this can really lead them into life-changing patterns and life-changing connections. Yeah.
Yes, because when my husband asked the teacher that, this is what I felt when I entered the session, post the session, he had a conversation with her and she said the exact same thing, that it's balancing the feminine and the masculine energy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you have to bring that feminine energy in your life, even if you're a male. And similarly for females also, we need to have a balance of the two, like you rightly mentioned.
We all need it, I think. It's all about balancing this. And that's the way our body itself is balancing with those polarities, with the feminine, the masculine, knowing the moment to act with the masculine energy and knowing the moment to be more introspective and more in your own space with the feminine. So we need to really learn how to balance through life through those two polarities. And that's all about this. And for men, it's so important to really allow themselves to experience. I have so many friends from my, let's say, past life experience from the corporate that are coming to sessions, and I'm seeing some of them opening up. Right. Some are still not allowing. Some are still like shy. Okay, what my friends will think that I come into this type of sessions. I'm telling you, wow, it's so rewarding for you to open yourself to come into the space, and they notice the changes. At least who allow themselves to come, they really experience something different. Yeah.
Yeah, even if I think about my friend circle, I'm sure so many guys will be like, no, this is not my type of session, or I don't want to attend this. How will it help me? But they're so guarded. They're like so shy and they're so close. They're such introverts. They might be extroverts outside, but they're so introvert when it comes to these topics. They don't speak the traumas that they go through unless it's a very close person, right? They won't talk openly.
And it's so important because once we allow ourselves to be into the space, we can help ourselves to heal the emotions, because all of us, we are storing emotions throughout life with the problems, with the stress, with the tensions. And among men, they're not creating the space for them to talk. And once they don't talk about it, this is what ends up becoming a disease. So I'm having few people that are going through struggle, but unfortunately they need to go through a severe struggle to open up to, please help me. So I think it's a possibility for them to do before. And that's kind of a calling to do before it becomes like a physical disease.
So is there something they can do, say, starting from home? Because a lot of people are comfortable at home. So is that that first step a man can take from home and then start attending these sessions?
I like to say a little bit of the meditation is always beautiful to do. Like only allowing yourself to come to meditation help you to soften it. And then we can come with the breathing, because breath is everything in life. By simply doing what we call the alternate nostril breathing, you help us to balance these two polarities.
Right.
And this become powerful because then man can naturally soften what is his left side of the brain by balancing the breathing through the nostrils and activating a little bit more of the right side of the brain. That is the connection to the intuitive side. So breathing simply is one of the powerful ways. Yeah.
Very nice. And also you have a space called Awakening Prema. Right?
Yeah.
Prema in Indian language means love.
Yeah.
So did that inspire you?
It came exactly from that, yes. And it was in 2016 when I was back in Brazil, exactly right after I quit my job. And I used to be part of a beautiful group. They were studying a lot of ancient philosophies. And then one of the topics of one of the nights was exactly about prema. And then it came to me, wow, that's exactly what I want. I want to bring into awakening this prema, awakening unconditional love through everything I decide to do in my life. So through the sound healing, through the meditations, through the breath works, through the yoga, is to bring a safe space for people to be able to unlock this feeling of unconditional love and to soften the control of the rational mind.
So you run these workshops or the retreats in Portugal only, or it's across the world?
So the main thing was always in Dubai. And then from there, things started opening up a little bit more, doing events in Brazil, doing events in Portugal, doing events in Spain. and then retreats in different places in East Asia. And then I did a few retreats in Cambodia, a few retreats in India, and that's something that I want to continue doing. A lot of those work was done with my partner, Anna, and many things that we're doing now ourselves individually as activity as well.
Okay.
So and it's beautiful. The idea is to continue spreading. As my base now is in Europe, I want to explore more Europe. But Dubai will always have a special place for me to be coming and going and doing the activities here.
Because this is where it all started.
That's what it borns, yeah. Awakening Prema and Renato as what I do, it born here in Dubai. So it's a special place in my heart, yeah.
Thank you, Renato, for being on the show, for speaking a lot of unsaid talks. And I think a lot of men listening to us have a lot to take away from the show, and definitely attend one of your sessions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I'm so glad to have the opportunity to talk. And for me, it's beautiful chance to explore and to share a little bit of my path. Thank you.
Thank you so much.